it's horror month, and we're getting so close to Halloween. Actually, it's Halloween Eve. So, for this Halloween Eve, we decided to bring you, the next review.
So, they were probably thankful that we're finally here to this review, because we've been doing it all month long, 31 days, the whole thing, and now we're finally here at this not final review, but second to final review, and they're probably saying, thank God it's almost over.
Wait a minute, so you're thinking that they're tired of us already? That's not possible. How's that possible?
I don't know if they're tired, but I sure am.
About worn out.
I'm so ready for Halloween, I could practically taste the candy corns.
Alright, so here we go. Once again, is yet another Abbott and Costello. Now, if you watched my last review about Abbott and Costello, you know I was not a big fan of the Invisible Man movie. I thought it was pretty terrible. So how do you double the terribleness here? Well, you add the Mummy, and it makes it even more terrible, if that's possible.
Yeah, you take Abbott and Costello, which is already starting to get a little tiresome, and then you add the monster that had the weakest of all the sequels in the entire Universal Monster movie franchises, the Mummy, and what you're left with is just, oh man, it's rough. It's real rough.
Now, I have to say, I was actually a lot more impressed with this one than the last one. I actually liked this one a lot more. I found it a lot more... The comedy was a lot funnier than the last one because it was Abbott and Costello. It was them being Abbott and Costello.
I can say you are crazy, Professor. You're absolutely insane. This was a horrendous film. Horrendous from beginning to end. The plot was terrible. It was not funny. There was no comedy in this film. The Mummy was horrible looking. It wasn't even a Mummy movie until the last 10 minutes. And then it got all convoluted at the end of it. Had no really idea what was going on. Then you had 3 or 4 mummies. And then the acting from all the other people was horrible. And it was horrible.
And I gotta say, Professor, you've finally gone around the bend on this one. Because even being Abbott and Costello couldn't save this movie. Couldn't make it any better. And the thing I didn't realize until we got to the credits of the movie is that Abbott and Costello's characters had names in this movie that they never called each other. They were like Joe Johnson and Frank Franklin or something, and they fully called each other Bud and Lou in the movie. Like, nobody even bothered to correct them.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I don't think it was that bad because now the Mummy stuff was terrible. I give you that. The actual Mummy plot line and story was terrible. Because it was like a ghost, so to speak, of what the last few Mummy films were. And somewhat the same plot as they were trying to get the Mummy back to Egypt. But there was no Tana leaves. None. So maybe that's what did it for you guys, is there's no Tana leaves.
Well, actually, you're wrong about that, because he was cooking them. He was cooking them. There was a stove, there was a flame, and they didn't show the leaves, but he was cooking them. I mean, and he gave them the Mummy. They didn't say how many there were. I'm imagining there were probably like 10 maybe. I don't even think 12 Tana leaves could have saved this movie.
Yeah, it's like, I almost would give this movie points for not mentioning Tana leaves. And I was about to give it points, but then guy turned on stove and put a little pot on there and started cooking something up, and then he poured it down the Mummy's throat, and I was like, son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, Tana leaves.
I was like, no Tana leaves!
But I actually enjoyed the whole comedy bit of suddenly having 3 mummies run around, not knowing which mummy was which, and who was supposed to be the mummy. I actually kind of enjoyed that. I thought it was an interesting twist for it. But the end of the movie stunk. I thought it was terrible the way it ended up. However, I didn't mind it. I actually thought it was pretty funny compared to the last one, which was not quite as funny as this one or even the first one.
The other thing that I have to say about the mummy or mummies in this movie is I was waiting to see what they were going to look like because it wasn't Lon Chaney playing the mummy. It was just some guy. And I was like, oh man, I can't wait to see what the mummy looks like. And wow, I think he looked the worst he's ever looked. Face was all messed up, and then his wrappings, quote unquote, he was literally just wearing a jumpsuit that they like painted some bandages on. And he looked like he was wearing like long underwear pajamas. They looked like loose and floppy, and he looked real rough. But I can say both of his arms worked, and both of his feet worked. So that's a plus. Maybe the movie gets 1 point for that.
Hey, Spookarella. Spookarella, you're not doing Spookarella voice.
Well, he made a noise, but it was real bad also.
That's the town of leaves.
Should I re-say all that other stuff in my correct voice? Because I don't remember what any of it was. I'm not that worried about it. You know what? It's the day before Halloween. All bets are off.
Spookarilla lost her voice.
Well, you know, it's been 30 days of live screaming, and I don't have that much left in the tank, fellas.
Yeah.
I'm going down.
Yeah, I think this movie about sunk me. I mean, I was going pretty good there. I was going on a pretty good steady stream there. And when I hit this, yeah, I kind of fell off the tannis leaf.
And he actually growled.
It sounded like he had to pinch one out and it wasn't coming out very well. That's kind of the noise he was making.
He was just kind of going, ah!
That's what it sounds like when
Ah!
he was trying to, you know, I guess get that, you know, 100-year-old poop come out, and it just wouldn't come out. That's kind of what this movie was. It was like a 100-year-old poop.
That's gross.
It was.
Folks, I gotta tell you, I'm just real tired.
So I actually enjoyed the film for the Abbott and Costello comedy routine in it. I actually enjoyed it for that. That wasn't bad.
Hang on, wait. There was comedy in this movie?
It was Abbott and Costello doing...
It doesn't matter. It was stupid.
No, it was actually pretty funny. I enjoyed that. But when it comes to the actual mummy plot, yeah, it wasn't that good.
No, the whole movie stunk. It stunk like 100-year-old mummy poop.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give this movie a 1 out of 5. Real bad, make me want to go sleep.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it was pretty terrible. As a mummy movie, it was terrible. As an Abbott Costello movie, it was terrible. Overall, it was terrible. And I'm sorry for having to bring you this terrible movie. Even though it's Halloween Eve, it's still terrible. I can't deny how horrible this movie is. It gets a 1 out of 5.
If I could give it a 0, I would, because it was terrible.
And like I said, I enjoyed it a little bit more than the last movie, and not as good as the first one, but I enjoyed it more than the last one, and I would also give it a 3 out of 5.
No. Just no.
Not the best Abbott and Costello. The first one was the best. This one, I would say second. The Invisible Man, no.
No. No for no. No and no and no. No.
I think I got some tannis leaves in my eyes. They're burning.
Yeah.
Can't see.
I think that's probably what the professor's been on this entire time watching Abbott Costello. So those tannis leaves.
He hit the tannis leaves too hard.
Yeah, he's been hitting those tannis leaves.
I think Doug has put him in the drink. I've been telling you that all month long.
I think it's something.
He's been putting tannin leaves in these drinks.
Well, I can tell you what. We appreciate you sticking with us this whole month. And we're going to try to finish strong. Even though this movie was real bad. And we're going to try to finish strong for you for Halloween. So make sure that you tune in tonight and every night, which would just be tomorrow really, because it's the day before Halloween, for the live screaming with Dave and Becky, and they've been playing spooky games, and tomorrow night's going to be grand finale for Halloween, and make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell and get the notifications, and I'm real tired, guys, but I'm going to pull through.
And you know what? Everybody else out there, stay spooky. You stay spooky.
Did you pop?
I did.
I heard you pop.
I popped the poop out like the old mummy did.
Oh, my God.
Horrible movie, man.
I liked it.
Good Lord.
I'm so ready for Halloween, I can practically taste the candy corns. Mmm.